And see, we're coming. All right, here we go. Everyone, we're back. We're back here with Tuga Tuesdays. After a couple of weeks break, international FIFA break and all that, all the workload and everything else. But we're back. We're back in business here with Tuga Tuesdays to talk about all things our Liga Portugal. It's just been a fantastic weekend. Shockers, drama, spectacular performances. Simon Banza is here for real. We're going to find out in a few more minutes. But of course, we're going to introduce here first our buddies, our friends here from the Porto podcast. Mr. Jason, welcome to Tuga Tuesdays. How you feeling? All right. How you feeling overall about your team? This is a quick impression of Porto.
Everything I was nervous about in the beginning of the season is exactly what's coming back to bite us right in the butt. I was nervous about our front, especially I was one of the Porto fans that did want to unload Taremi. I thought his time here was up. I thought he gave us everything he's got. He's given us plenty of great seasons, great stats, but I thought the direction we're heading, I think he was no longer the fit. And I just really think we're trying to fit a circle peg into a triangle hole. Or square hole, whatever you want to call it, but it's just our final third it's not putting it together.
Right. And Mr. Derek Gomez, why are you looking so serious, man? You should be smiling. You should be, with a champagne glass for this fantastic weekend for your team. Everything worked out perfectly for Sporting.
It got pretty shaky. It got pretty shaky there for about a half hour. Yeah.
Hey man,
I look at this was a classic example of a trap game where we have the UEFA Cup on or the Liga Europa on Thursday, and then you got Benfica on Sunday. So we're starting to look past Estrela da Amadora. We had the 1-0 lead at half. I think that we were comfortable, and then you give up 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half, and wow, things just things got a little shaky there. But then there was just a moment of magic from Marquitos, who he put on like a Messi. It was like a Messi-like goal, and then it was like a perfect millimetric cross to Paulinho for the 3-2. So it's just this is why we watch football. I think this is why we watch football for like moments like that and games like that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. I only got one game that Sunday, so I got to drove home, and I was able to catch the second half. Right, the very beginning of the second half, I was like, all right, it's going to be an interesting game. And then, what's going on here? What is going on here? Yeah. But, ended up turned out pretty good for you guys. And so Mike is not here tonight. So when I feel it from him for the Benfica perspective of things, not convincing. I want to tell you, it was not convincing.
Can we talk about the penalty?
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll
talk about that.
My God,
we'll talk about that.
Yeah. On Portugal, you guys have the show Portugal. There should be a 5-minute segment only in Portugal, and you're only going to see penalties like that in Portugal. I think. Yeah.
Oh boy, tell me about it. Which got a penalty here in the Peruvian Premier League. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Some of the things we see in that league, yeah.
And you know what? All right, we're gonna talk about just a little bit now, but we're gonna go more into the details. But about the technology, right? I'm wondering when is that gonna happen about the chip on the ball, right? Because to get that the goal line technology, that the referee gets the signal on the watch.
Yeah.
Because I feel like every weekend now we're having these issues like did the ball cross or not cross, and what was that? It wasn't the Benfica's game, right? Benfica's goal, the one from Cabral, and then Orsnes, but I think the ball crossed the line, did not cross the line.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much easier and clean, right? I think that the decisions when where either the ball crosses 100% of the circumference. I think that's a ridiculous law, by the way. It's just I mean, we're getting to a point where the technology is basically dictating the rules in the game. And it's getting crazier and crazier. I was watching the other day, yesterday, I was watching this Chelsea Tottenham game. You watch it? Man, it was an amazing game. Was it five? Yeah, I think it was 5 offsides total. The goals disallowed and everything else. But I want to say this. So, Derek, I said this in round 3. Okay, in round 3, I said Sporting is my candidate this year. That's what I said in round 3. Okay, and then of course, as you know, and we all know about the history of Sporting, going rush to the top and then falling apart
something bad
way through. And I think they're looking. You know what?
Yeah,
I think they're even looking stronger than 2021.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday. I mean,
is this for real? That's my question.
I mean, I don't think that they win that Estrela Madura game last year. I think if they were faced with the same circumstances last year, where they give up 2 goals the second half, they're down 2-1. I don't think last year Sporting would have won that game, but this year Sporting did. This is a team that's finding ways to get results like they did in the year they won the championship. So I do think Sporting is for real. I mean, obviously this is still very early. I know that it's 6 points over Porto, but I mean, Porto, this has been a trend with Porto. Porto will just go through this funk at the beginning, then they can reel off 13, 14 straight wins. It seems like they do that every year. Like maybe like the midway through to the second half of the season, they just get on this streak, and that's a team that's proven. They've proven time and time again that they know how to get results. So this is still very early. I think it's going to be an exciting race. But I think Sporting has greater emotional fortitude. They're stronger this year psychologically, and they can get these results. So it's going to be a very exciting race. I mean, I think that I think all 3 are going to be in it, and then we'll see about Braga. They're behind right. They're behind right now, and they're playing these tough games in Europe.
I got to tell you, I got doubts in Braga. What's the key for this success for Sporting, Derek? For this early, 10 rounds, you haven't dropped a loss yet. What's the key? Where's the quant for this team?
I think Ruben put it nicely the other day. I think that Gyökeres completed this team. He's such a more than just what he does on the pitch, scoring goals. It's just his presence on the pitch. It's just changed the way teams play Sporting, and now Sporting has that outlet. Where I do think, last year there was a lot of possession, but unproductive, possession, playing horizontally as opposed to vertically. Now this guy gives you this vertical component that Sporting really lacked last year. So now, in addition to their ability to control possession, they can also just just loft the ball up top 30-40 yards, and that just adds this dimension to Sporting. He's truly completed the team, and once you start getting results, it's the psychology. The team believes that they can win, and they can compete for championships. You just it's a totally different feel from last year, where you really knew in that first, I would say, by October it was over.
Right.
You knew they weren't going to come back. The psychology of the team, they were a defeated team, but now it's just a totally different feeling this year. It does feel a lot like the championship season, but obviously it's still very early to tell, and a lot of things can happen. But this is exciting. Fine.
Of course it is.
It's rare that as Sportingista gets to get
it.
excited.
Hey, Jason. Derek just mentioned this, right? That the Porto always, they got cold starts in the seasons, and then they find a way to climb up to the top, and then they put up the pressure, and then they're winning championships. But as we always mention here and everywhere else, that it's not about the points that you get of Sporting or Benfica. It's the points that you dropped against
Estoril.
Estoril. Is the points that you. What was the first game? Who did they lose in the first one? I forgot.
Oroca.
Yes.
They dropped
2 points. Right?
At home.
Yep.
It's those home games that you don't want to lose points.
2 home games, right?
Yeah.
2 home games. Home games.
Home.
And this is crazy because the fantastic record that Porto has is 105 games. They lost 5 out of 105, and then you drop 2 in 10 rounds. So where are we going for this in Porto?
I think we'll keep the pressure on throughout the season, but I don't think we're gonna get that first place spot this season. I am convinced that this is Sporting's year. I think the big differentiator is having that striker. To me, he's the best player in the league. If he continues his numbers and his performances, to me, no one's going to compete with what that guy is capable of. And unfortunately, he'll be gone next season if he continues this. But at least he'll give Sporting a trophy because he's playing like a man. He came off he just came off just running. That guy, he's a monster. And honestly, he's everything that Sporting missed. Because now Sporting's nice and experienced, and like you were saying with the emotional factor, like Sporting believes, like that guy gives them belief because now Sporting's not sitting around waiting for the counterattack. Now they can attack because that guy just adds another dimension, and he's a forceful attacker. So that presence is going to be known. He's a great player. To me, the biggest difference between Sporting Benfica and Porto is that striker right there. If without that striker, Sporting's in the same boat as Benfica and Porto, but because they have him. He's just that they're now one notch better than Porto and Benfica in my eyes.
And now you mentioned a key word here, striker, and that's the striker. That's the position where Porto is struggling. I mean, big time. If it wasn't for Evan Nilsson, I mean, who's going to save the team? Because and then you have Fran Navarro sitting, not scoring yet.
Yep.
Then you have Tony
Danny
Martinez,
Mulder, and
you got Danny. And you got you got Taremi. You got 4 guys. So how many goals in between the 4? Is it 5 total?
It's not many, and honestly, they're not really important goals. It's a lot of our important goals has come from the back line. Exactly. It's come from midfielders. It's unfortunate, but to me, like I said, I really wish Taremi was unloaded. But even Nelson is my breath of hope. Like if we do go on a run, I think he's going to be a big factor if he can stay healthy. But he has to stay healthy because he is injury prone and he has medical history.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
we got to give Fran Navarro an opportunity, though.
I agree. I'm very disappointed. Sergio does this to guys, and
he does. Yeah, he does.
He did this last season to Carmo, and it was disappointing. Like you got to let these guys look because that's one thing I'll give Ruben Amorim. He gives guys chances in my eyes. As a Portista, Sergio Conceição, sometimes he just keeps putting his boys out there over and over, and that's what it appears. I don't know what goes on in training, but I really want to see Fran Navarro play for Porto. I was impressed by the guy last season, and there's no reason why not to give him more opportunities, and not 5 minutes. Like
there's nothing. Yeah, you're never gonna get into a rhythm.
Like I'm glad that I finally see Francisco Conceição for a full game. Like this kid has potential, but if you're gonna put him in for 5 minutes, what are you gonna see out of him? What impact is he actually going to have? And the same thing for Fran Navarro. We need to give the guy games. He needs games under his belt. Like if we lose another game, at that point I'd be like, all right, Taremi, like we'll get you minutes, but we need to focus towards the future.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And the problem is with no minutes from Navarro. I mean, where's your hope?
No
where's your hope in the offense for the team? But I remember when they signed Taremi, right? That it took a while. It took a while for Conceição to finally give up. Okay, this guy's for real. Play. Start now. It took like 2 months, wasn't it? I think I'm not mistaken.
No, it was. It wasn't off the bat. Yeah, this is, to me, that's my biggest criticism towards him is like you kind of crush these guys' confidence, and like I don't know what you're doing behind the scenes, obviously, because we don't see everything. All we see is match days. But this guy needs opportunity. We need to build him up. You have to build your players up. And don't get me wrong. Once a guy's bought in, it's easy. But how do we get him to that stage? We need to get him to the next stage. We need to get him there.
You know, I was just looking at the is it 2, 4, 6? It's 6 goals. I said 5, but it's 6 goals in between Taremi, Tony Martinez, Evan Nilsson. Those are the 2. Everybody has 2 goals. Marcano has 2 goals. Eustachio. You got Galeno. Galeno. You know, I watched Galeno. Right, he was sensational in the Champions League, but then it's the same Galeno that it just doesn't convince you 100%.
Nope.
Right? There's a piece of Galeno that you're not really. I'm not sold on this guy. Why I'm not sold on this guy? He's so fast. He's talented. He got a great vision, but then does these things that he lacks. What is this? Consistency. Right, consistency. But I'm not talking about consistency in game after game. I'm talking consistency of his play. That's what I mean, right? Because he's not a finisher.
No,
right? He's not a finisher. Let's put that clear. Right.
I'm gonna say this stems from Taremi too, because what Rui and I discussed this year is Taremi's dropping much deeper than he did previous years, and obviously our midfield is not as talented as it was in the past, right? But at the same time, when he does that puts more stress on our wingers. Now it's easier to defend our wingers because your presence as a striker is not there. So the defense is not even focused on Taremi at the moment because he's dropping so deep. Now we have this big gap in the middle. Our wingers are easy to defend at the moment.
And then what about the duo? You know, you got what's this kid, Varela and Eustachio. I think they work pretty good together. Yeah. But we're still lacking the X factor, the creativity, the disruptive player that it was Otaviño, and that you don't have that on the roster. You don't have any. You don't have an attacking mid like that.
Now those guys are safe, right? They're very consistent in their performance. They defend very well. They play good team ball. But like you said, once you get to that final third, that creativity is not there. That final pass isn't there with those 2 guys. So maybe, I don't know if you take a risk and you kind of rotate those guys, but you're going to have to sacrifice one of them for someone more creative, and hopefully someone finds their skin. But the problem with those 2 is you're playing the safe bet, and then you're going to easily lose games by a goal like you just did the previous match when you're just lacking that creativity in the final third. Those guys are just a safe bet. That's all they are.
And now we're going to
think important Mateus Uribe was to that team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anybody's really him. I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk about Otavio, and Otavio had an amazing season last year and he was a great player, but Mateus Uribe was stalwart for that midfield for years.
Yeah.
And that guy just walked for nothing.
Yep.
You know, they didn't get a penny for him. And I mean, he was one of Conceição's main men for years. I mean, there were games I watched Porto play. He was the best player on the pitch. I mean, I know that the focus is on Otavio because Otavio has the flair, but Uribe was just a fantastic player for that team for years. And when Sporting played them, I was always had my eye on Uribe, and that guy could control the midfield. So, Porto went through it. They lost some massive players. So I mean, and that I do empathize with them because they lost critical players to that team.
Now you mentioned that, Derek. I'm going to say this, okay? I think Porto right now is in a transition phase, okay? Because you went from winning the championship and then selling these players, and now you're struggling to regain the quality that you had before. That you don't have that right now on this current roster. You know, all those signings. We all love Fran Navarro. We all love, you know, they play the kid Varela, but you missing Lucho Diaz, you missing Taviño, you missing Mateus Uribe, Tecatito Corona. I mean, the players are doing such a higher level than these players, that this current roster right now.
Oh,
And that's why I'm saying that the Porto, it's I think they're gonna wait this whole season. I don't think Porto is gonna win the championship. I want to say this now, unless the quality rises out of nowhere in January. They're gonna go, you know, rush through the finish line like that. You know it's not going to happen, Jason. You know it's not going to happen.
I agree. To me, the biggest loss that they didn't even play a full season together, but Vitinha and Fabio Vieira, we're just not going to replace that duo we had. That duo was so disgusting.
Like young talent. Yeah,
it was so productive. Like they understood each other well. They understood the game, and they played like men. And that the balls they were able to deliver in the final third, like they just made, like Taremi was good and he was on fire and his confidence was high. Maybe his confidence is low at the moment, but those guys put so many goals on a platter for him, and everything gelled together well with those guys. That's what we lack the most. Is like we said, right now we're playing with the Eustáquio and Varela, and those guys are good. They know the game, they know the sport, but they're not those guys. They just cannot create like those guys in any manner.
They're losing the dynamics of Vitinha, and I mean, there was just when these two players got the ball. You can feel the danger right away. All right, something's about to happen now with these guys. Something is about to happen. Something's gonna break through here. But now you're watching. You're sitting watching Porto, and then it feels like you know, hey, did you put gas in the tank? No, man, I'm sorry, I forgot about it. Man. Oh my goodness, we're running low. You know that, right? And that's what it feels.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this Porto is very easy to defend at the moment. This is not. They're not disruptive in the final third.
They're sort of lucky to have the 22 points right now.
Yeah,
there were some games that they just.
Oh yeah,
those 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. It was like 4, right? 4 in a row, I think it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, half of those they should have won those. Half of those.
Yeah.
Right. But all right, Derek.
All right.
Gotta ask you this, all right? I gotta ask you this. I think one of the key elements of this sporting is that you know, when Paulinho is a Ruben Amorim's man, all right? He went for it, and he came from Braga. He said, "You coming with me? You're not coming this year, but you coming the next year." He came midway through the season, and
he was Ruben's man.
And he was not excelling, and he finally helped out the team. They won the championship and everything else. But his role on this sporting, coming off the bench and assuming and accepting his 12-man role, it's what is giving sporting, you know, he's giving a message, right? He's giving a message. This guy, he was the leading striker, he was the leader and everything else in sporting. And now he's happily sitting on the bench because he knows that the Swedish assassin is a goddamn motherfucker on the pitch. And he's gonna jump in when he needs it. When he needs help, all right, I want to jump in. I want to alternate with you. And even though they got the same amount of goals, right? I think they got 6-6, right? Is that right? Yes. Yeah, 6-6. And Paulinho coming off the bench, it's how you manage that locker room. It's what is doing great for sporting this year. Do you agree with me on this or not?
Let's just look back to last season where, you know, you're talking about 34 rounds and Paulinho finished with 5 goals. And here we are in round 10 and he's had.
Yeah, you heard me going hard on Paulinho. Hey, this guy 5 goals. You're not scoring double digits. You heard me.
It's a situation where, you know, sometimes bringing on a rival, you know, to your position actually ends up helping you. A lot of we're watching the games, and a lot of the focus will go to Gyökeres, and that's opened up space for Paulinho. So he's getting more opportunities now that he's sort of, you know, the second fiddle. I do think him coming off the bench is better. You know, he can come in with like 20 minutes to go, half hour to go, take advantage of the fact that the defenders, the defenders are going to be some tired legs. They've been defending Gyökeres all game long. He's gonna find channels, find pockets like he did for the goal that he scored to make it the 3-2, where he got in a good position to head in the winning goal. So I think this role right now for him is great. I know they were trying to use the two at the same time right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think Sporting is much better served with having Marcus Edwards in the game as opposed to Paulinho. Marcus Edwards just gives you that X factor, on the attack.
I love this guy.
I mean, but it's going like you were speaking about. We were talking about Galeno and his inconsistency. Like sort of, Marcus Edwards is the Galeno of Sporting, where
let's be honest, he was gone for 50 minutes.
There are some games where he's
got
invisible.
2 shots in the first half, and then boom, he woke up. All right, let me bring it back.
That second half, he really took Sporting on his back. Yeah. I mean, but it's just like that he's capable of doing that.
I know.
That's the thing. That's what's so frustrating. But then again, being perfectly honest, if he was doing that every week, he wouldn't be playing for Sporting right now. So you got to look at it that way.
Right.
But
hopefully
he
he
has the
has
music.
consistency, and hopefully he's scoring double digits this year, and hopefully this is his MVP season. I predicted it was going to be the last season. I picked him to be the MVP last season. No.
And I know it. And we keep an eye on the league, and I think Porto did really good with getting Galeno. But I think the next big thing, I'm saying it right now, is that Alvaro Jaló. That guy is scary good. He's scary good, and he's just going to get better, and he's young. Braga's going to make a pretty penny on
We'll
that
talk
guy.
about Braga in a second. Let me jump on Benfica first. Let me jump on Benfica first, and we'll talk about that Simon Massef. Hopefully he doesn't, get called again like he did last season. He disappeared for freaking 4 months, man. But anyway, so guys, speaking of your rival, Benfica, it's I'm not gonna say the magic touch is gone from Roger, and the Di Maria effect has vanished from the air. But it doesn't seem to be the same Benfica from the first 5 rounds of the competition, right? What's going on with Benfica? What's going on, Jason? What do you think is happening with Benfica right now?
They lost Ramos, and I think this is just exposing Roger. I never thought much of Roger. I don't rate him as a coach like I do Ruben Amorim. Ruben's a legit coach. To me, Roger has yet to prove himself. And I think every time he's beaten Porto's beaten himself in the last 3 matches. I don't think they're that great. And I think their magic is just worn off. They're lacking the striker position, and they can't figure it out from there. They're not a convincing team. I don't think they're terrible at all. They beat Porto 3 times, but at the same time, I think Porto beat themselves in each of those matches. It just that Benfica they don't have any X factors like Sporting does, and they don't have that striker role. There's a big gap there.
And speaking of that striker,
it's
I don't think I'm wrong with Cabral. I've been bashing the guy. Can't leave on there. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I said that I am faster than him. Right? I'm 49 years old. I'm faster than you, Cabral. I'll say that on there. Man.
I think Forientino was laughing their way to the bank. I think that's
Yeah.
I mean, the guys is really it's just so slow. I
will give credit to Di Maria because the guy's a stud. But other than that, if he's not winning the game for him at the moment, it just doesn't look like they'll win the game.
And now Neres is injured. Neres is gone.
He's going to be hurt for a while.
Ligaments, right? I think he's a ligaments.
I think in operation.
Yeah. Ligaments. You're gone for 6 months.
Yep.
Oh, that's it. You have Neres. I don't think that they have that deeper bench this year. I think their bench is just right there. Just don't touch anyone else, because if they lose, all right. Let's say then hopefully that doesn't happen, right? But we all know that Di Maria has a history. He's an injured prone, and now he's 35. I think he's 35, 35, right? 35. I mean, when you get injured at 35, it's a total different story than when you get injured at 25.
Yep.
Right? recovery is longer. But they ended up winning this game. I was just all right. Now focusing on the game, and now but that's the penalty in this game, boys, in your game, right? Where that penalty came from?
Yeah,
it's just.
I mean, Moreno got a red card, and if I was the coach of Xavi, I probably would
have a red card too.
I would have got a red card. Yeah, I probably would have been suspended for 3 games. Yeah, I would have lost my mind. Yeah,
it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was nothing. It was nothing.
For that, I mean.
There's nothing. I know it's crazy because now they have these all the benches, all the teams. They have the cameras, right? What is this? Not a laptop. What is it? A tablet, right? They watch the replays and they know the calls. It's not like before. Then you go to a press conference and the coach say, "Well, I'm sorry, I didn't watch it." No, now you watch it live.
Yeah, what's
going on? And it's getting even tougher on the referees. It's a lot more pressure on the referees these two. Okay, they're going against you. This going against you. This is the most important derby. Well, that was the one that when you won the championship. After that one, when you won the championship, I said, "All right, I'm going to put it like this, Derek. If you win this derby, you can agree with me. You can sit with me on the passenger seat." And drive all the way through the finish line and to say it with me. We are candidates to win this championship. Say it.
With a win.
With
a win. Yeah. But I mean, we're talking about how Benfica is not as good as they were last year. But I mean, you got to take this into account. If they win on Sunday, they're first place. It's
why this? Why this half empty or half full? Tell me.
I've been a fan for 34 years. 3 championships. 3 championships. I just had to wait 19 years for this last one.
Oh my God. But all right, I think you know what? I think Jason has more faith in your team than you do, man.
I don't. I think the only way Benfica manages to stay in the game is if it's just brilliant performances from Silva and the goalkeeper, because Benfica's goalie is legit, and I will say hats off to him. He's a good goalie, and that was a big pickup for them.
Yeah, he ended up being
he panned out. And he's legit.
I never thought Vlachodimos was a bad goalie.
I didn't think he was bad.
And I'd put putting myself in that guy's shoes. I'd be, because it seems like every offseason Benfica is talking about a new goalkeeper. Yeah. So I mean, I would just be looking. Hey, we just won the championship. I was your starting goalie, and all you guys can talk about is getting a new goalie. I would be so disillusioned.
Yeah, my confidence. That would hurt my confidence a little bit.
They went and spent. I think it was like 10 million on this goalie. Just a slap in the face for a guy who just won a championship with you.
I know,
but he's legit goalie though.
No, he's a good goalie.
And I mean, watching him in Nottingham Forest, like he's. I mean,
no, I think he's found a happy home. I think he's happy where he is, and he's just got a nice victory and a shutout, and it's good for him. Because he was, like you said, he's not a bad goalkeeper. Every goalie has some mistakes and errors, but like at the end of the day, like how much do you want to put on his plate? You know what I mean?
I always thought he was a reliable keeper. I didn't think goalie was one of their issues.
No,
heading into this, no.
And speaking of goalies, I got my you guys play fantasy league? You guys play? No,
I keep up with it for 3 weeks and then I let it go.
we play here with the guys at the studio, and I picked my buddy Nacho de Arroba Barrena. All right, and he's not the same guy from last year, man. I'm all right. Let's don't be that hard on the guy. I mean, I gotta be honest. He's different socks. That's why get exposed even much more than last year. But last year he got these early games when they were trashed by Benfica. Then they lost another game 4-1 or something. But then they found themselves back, and then Arroba Barrena ended up having a fantastic end of the seasons. I'm gonna say since February to May, he was probably the second best goalie in the league. It's not happening this year.
Yeah,
no, it's not happening this year for Aurora Barrena. Now, who outside of the big four, who's another goalie that would you like to have on your team, Jason?
I don't know any goalie that's playing against Porto because they seem to have a day. To be honest, I've seen so many goalies just play very well against Porto. I don't know what it is. I don't know if we can't shoot a ball or they just turn up for the big game.
I mean, the little these smaller teams when they play a big, they get up.
Yeah,
they know everybody. So.
I don't have anyone.
I like Richie Batista from Casapia. I like
Casapias.
He played half a season for Sporting.
And I think, and you know what? I think, and I think that you know who's underrated? Mateus, man. Mateus, the goalie, Braga's goalie.
Yeah,
I think
he's a good goalie.
Kind of overlooked this guy, but he's.
If you watch his performances in Europe, I've seen him have big games in Portugal, but if you watch him in Europe, he plays like a man, and he's up there with the opposing goalkeeper each and every match. Like he deserves credit, and he's been Braga for years now, and I enjoy watching him play. He makes so many saves, and he almost looks a little unorthodox compared to some goalies, but he's fun.
Different, yeah,
and he's gonna have a tough job tomorrow.
yeah.
He's gonna be at the Bernabeu. It's we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it goes tomorrow with Braga. But bringing Braga back to the domestic league, to the Primera Liga. What a massive performance they put up the other day at the Municipal Braga. I mean, it's just this is Braga. This is the problem with Braga. They're a roller coaster, man. You remember that I used to call your Sporting the Frankenstein of the Primera Liga because you don't know what to expect, right? And I think now they got that title now, and they're loaded with talent. They're loaded. You got Diallo, you got Bruma, you got Banza, you got Richie Horta, and I mean
Abel Reich. Yeah, there's a lot of quality on that team.
But I think if when you see from the pure raw offense, I think they have the best offense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. They have the best offense in the league.
Yeah, be different.
And they do because after those 6 goals, I think they got how many goals? It's just probably the lead in the way.
I think they lead by a lot too.
I think it's 20-something goals already.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean, you got
how many? 29.
Yep.
Versus 29 and 13
is. Wow, 13. I know.
I was going with Sporting, right? But
Porto has a third.
13 goals, man. 13.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's embarrassing.
That's bad. When you actually see the number, it just hits you because I wasn't really, to be honest, I wasn't paying attention that much to the number of goals. I was just looking at the position on the table, but then I'm looking like 13. Ooh.
And then when you go see Porto play in Champions League, and then they come home to play in the domestic league, and you're just like, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
And today, Jason,
yeah.
They crushed that team in the first game. They trash him. They destroy him. But now at the Dragao Stadium, it's just another struggle.
They got the result.
I don't know. It's I don't know if it's Sergio's mentality of just focused on the result. Yeah, I think it's just focusing on the result. And like I said, that's gonna come back to bite you in the butt sometimes. Sometimes the team's gonna find that late goal, and it's gonna, like today, it could have been a 1-1 tie. They almost scored one late. And luckily, Pep got the insurance policy goal and put it away. But it's just playing in that manner and not, I don't know. It's a very Sergio-esque kind of way. He finds a way to win. Don't get me wrong, but
he does.
When it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But hey, they got 9 points. Barcelona has 9 points.
And I thought they should have won the Barcelona game, but they need to finish.
But yeah, there you are, man. I mean, in group stage, it's just get the points.
Yeah.
You just get to the next
Yes.
round. But once you get to the next round, you better start playing good soccer because it's not that like, oh, I got another point. No. It's do or die.
Yeah, because they took that approach to Inter Milan, and that's what bit them in the butt. They tried to win it too late. They just played it too safe for too long. Too many of the minutes of the two legs. And that's why they lost. They lost by a goal, but because they just wanted to play safe instead of going for it.
Yeah.
They had the players to compete. There was no reason to sit back in those games.
Yeah. I think they were better than Inter too. I thought they were better.
But they didn't play like it, and they're just playing way too safe, and that's what happens. Those goals are going to slip in. You make a mistake in the Champions League, you're going to pay for them.
Yeah, they make you pay big time.
Yep.
Champions.
Yeah,
big.
Out of the Portuguese teams, though, Porto has been the one that's getting the results. I think that they did get a favorable group.
Yes,
I do think. But the thing you expect them to beat Royal Antwerpia, and they did.
Yeah.
You expect them. I mean, Shakhtar Donetsk, there's a lot of adversity. I mean, they won. They win. Yeah. But there's a lot of adversity going on. Off the pitch. That they can't play in Ukraine. So you would expect Porto to beat them. Then you look at Benfica, where I know this is I'm not taking any credit away from Real Sociedad or Red Bull Salzburg.
Yeah.
But you don't see those teams coming into the Stadio de Luz and winning.
Yeah.
Be careful, Real Sociedad is a dark horse.
They're playing some beautiful soccer this year. I've watched quite a few games, but the Salzburg one, you can't be letting Salzburg just come in and take points from you. The Sociedad this year is a little different just because they're an actual squad for sure. This is different than past seasons, I would say, for them. Yeah.
I mean, Sporting's going through that too in Europe. Yeah. Where, I mean, the Atalanta game, they got booed off the pitch at halftime. I mean, that first half, Atalanta looked like. I mean, I was looking at it. I'm like, is this like the Barcelona of 2009? I mean, they absolutely dominated Sporting. It was at their own home stadium. Again, I know Atalanta. I'm not taking anything away from them. I think they do have a really good squad after watching them. After watching them, but I mean, it's Atalanta. You'd expect. I'm not saying you're going to. You're going to definitely beat Atalanta, but to lose at home, the way that they did really sort of brought me back down to earth.
Yeah.
That's why I was very cautious in that Boavista game. Yeah. But because I mean that Atalanta game really just knocked the wind out of me. It was really bad. But you'd expect Sporting to get some type of result, at least a point, and they lost at home. Then they go and play this team, this obscure team from Poland, and they played a miserable second half, and they couldn't win. So of these Portuguese teams, Porto is getting the results. They're getting the results in games that they're getting the results in the games that you expect them to win. Where it's like Benfica and Sporting are not getting the results in Europe that you'd expect from them. Like you would expect, Benfica to take, at least get a point from Real Sociedad at home.
Yeah, that's fair.
You'd expect them to beat Salzburg.
I'm just looking at the name of that team. It's Cesto Chokova. Man. Rocco. All right, let's get the first.
Playing them on Thursday. A chance for revenge. We get them on Thursday, but
you can put it on the ballot, so you should get 3 points, right?
Yeah,
you get 3 points.
You guys had a tough red card in that game, right? Threw it all off.
Yeah. Gyökeres got the red card at 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear I tuned in because I was at work, so I was kind of watching the game. I tuned in as he was like walking away to the so I didn't see him get the red card. So he's walking away towards the locker room, and then like my heart jumped in my throat because I was thinking, oh my God, he's hurt. The season is over. Right. No. So I'm just like, and then they showed what happened, that he got a red card and he was sent off. But I've never been so happy, for a Sporting player to get a red card. I honestly thought the guy was walking away hurt, and at that point, I knew it was over.
You're crazy, man. Now I'm gonna make a prediction here. Right? I'm gonna give a prediction on the Champions League. It's not pretty because I don't think that any of the Portuguese teams will advance past through the second stage. It's just gonna be they're gonna reach the knockout stage and that's it. It's gonna be a short ride this year. I don't see doing those quarterfinals like they did with Benfica, and no, I don't see that happening this year in the Champions League. I don't know about the. I got more faith in the Europa League. Gotta be honest, but the Europa League is tricky. It's very tricky.
A lot of good teams.
There's a lot of teams that you overlook. You tend to overlook. But
yeah, I mean, I think
Portugal's going to make the deeper run internationally.
I got Benfica and Braga are going to drop to the Europa League. I think they're both.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You dropped the thing. Yeah,
I think they're both going to finish third.
I don't like that. I don't like that dropping from one
be honest with
you. Either.
I mean, you're out.
Derek's gone.
Yeah, we got him.
We lost him. All right.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, if you're out, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it ruins the competition in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean,
it's I'm going back. More money because there's more games.
Yeah. I'm going way back because I mean, I was following the Champions League before it was known as the Champions League. It was just the European Cup, and it was just there was no knockout stage. It's like you had two legs against a team, and if you lost that, you're out. You're not going to go to the UEFA Cup or the Cup Winners' Cup or whatever. That was it, and there was no group stage. You had two games. That was it.
Derek.
So this whole thing about getting third place and you still keep on going.
Man, your internet is acting up, Derek.
It is?
No, it's you. Yeah.
I will say though, Porto's gonna win the first knockout stage and then they go home in the second. They'll win at least one. They're good for it. That's it. But they'll go home in the second stage. It's just even if they lose by a goal, they'll go home.
Think they'll make the quarterfinals?
Yeah, and then they'll just lose. It's just what they've been doing for years now.
Yeah.
Quarterfinal after quarterfinal after quarterfinal, and then just
disappointing. And once you get down to the final 8, and it's every team is good.
Yeah, studs.
It's tough. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see.
How many games did you watch? A lot of games this weekend on the Liga Portugal or not?
What was that?
Yeah, you watch a lot of games from the Premier Liga this weekend or not?
I did.
I only caught the Porto one this week.
Porto, because I was who you think was your MVP of the weekend, but I mean I got the Braga game and he got a hat trick. Simon Banza, and also an assist, and also there was another goal that was disallowed. So he could have 4 goals on that game at the Municipality Braga. I just really hope that he remains consistent and hopefully he gets to the 20 goals that I predicted he was going to score last year. And hopefully he does it this year. With that sensational start of the season, got 8 for 8. I said, this guy's gonna be fantastic. I'm like, well,
yeah.
But of course, the World Cup effect got a lot to do also, not only on Banza, but in a lot of players too. So I'm gonna give that credit. We don't have the World Cup in the middle of the season this year, so it is what it is. So this is off topic. All right, this is off topic. I know it was last week, but I'm gonna ask you that guy's this, right? And then we go to the what is this? To the next round, the predictions and so on. Jason, you go first, and then Derek. It's the same question for both, but I want Jason to go first. Did Messi deserve the Ballon d'Or?
I disagree with it. I think it was too sentimental. It should have been Haaland's in my eyes. I think they're setting a. I mean, I've been disappointed in the award since 2004, so it really doesn't matter in my opinion. But I mean, you robbed Deku of the Ballon d'Or for Shevchenko, and that's enough said. In the year that he wins a treble and Champions League and the impact player he was. But besides the fact, I don't think it was Messi's year. To me, he wasn't even a top 10 player in the world last year. But if you want to give it to him for the World Cup, you give it to him. I disagree with it 100%. I'm happy. Like, don't get me wrong. He's the GOAT. You call him whatever you want to call him, but that wasn't his award this year, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with you totally. Yeah. I mean, again, you look back in the history books, he probably is, the greatest player that's ever played, or Maradona. But yeah, I mean, last year you got to look at what PSG did primarily, and it was not much. Then he had a great run the World Cup, but I mean, Haaland throughout all of last season.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, he was setting records, and
it's.
Yeah, and they won the Premier League. They won the.
They won everything. They won the final. They won the Champions League with Pep. It was the best team in the planet. That team is just absolutely delightful to watch. It's just beautiful soccer. The most exciting machine to watch in the planet. Is my opinion on Manchester City. But I want to say this. I think all these years, all the Messi haters, and they're saying this, right? He hasn't won the World Cup. He's not the best because he hasn't won the World Cup.
Yeah.
No, he misses this. No, but he didn't win this. Oh, but he didn't win the Copa America. Then there you go. He didn't win the World Cup. And the year that he wins, the best player in the planet wins the World Cup. That year, you're not gonna give it the Ballon d'Or. No, I think you should give it to him. That's my take.
Yeah. No, I think I think you could still give it to him, but I just think you diminish the award to an extent because, like, if you ask me. Like I said, he's the GOAT, but at the end of the day, you're just diminishing the award because it's like he wasn't a top 10 player in the world. He just wasn't. And we're talking about that year. I understand you're capping off his career, but that's what the World Cup awards are for. You give it to him there, player of the tournament, whatever you want to give him, but he just wasn't the best player in the season last year, in the calendar year. And without Haaland, Pep would have been
Don't worry, guys.
You know what I mean? To me, Pep would have been a fraud without Haaland because that was he needed that Champions League to solidify his legacy because he failed at Bayern and he won everything with Man City but the Champions League with that beautiful team he had until he had Haaland. He wasn't going to get that Champions League.
But don't worry, this is the last award that he's going to get.
I think Messi and Ronaldo are no longer going to win it.
This is I mean, for me, the last hyper competitive year that we had from Messi. Now he's in MLS. He's probably he's gonna win the MLS. Of course, he's gonna win it this next year. Not this year because he kept the team.
He was a crapshoot.
Only 10 games left. So, but he's gonna win it, and he's gonna break every single record in the MLS. But this is. The beginning of the end for the two GOATs. For me, are for the two kings. That's as I call it. This is the two kings dominating the scene for 15 years, and it's like we every year, because I'm not gonna say we because I'm not including myself in that. That many people wanting to crown someone else. I'm sorry, but the kings they're not left the throne yet. It's their throne. Okay, Ronaldo.
Impressive. I mean, I've been watching soccer for a long time.
Yeah,
and I know once a guy hit 30, he was done.
I know.
He was 32.
32. Like, see you later.
I've seen 29.
No, these guys. No.
But
no.
It's just amazing. It's like amazing what these guys are doing.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, look at Ronaldo's body. My God,
And Messi's too. I mean, he's in pristine shape, man. Pristine shape. Right?
Yeah. I just, it's like, I know that if Maradona had the training regimen of like Ronaldo and Messi, and he, and didn't have that crazy the crazy personal life. The guy would have won like 10 Ballon d'Ors, man. It's like,
but that's what
what that guy did with the ball was like amazing.
Yeah, but that's what makes them Messi and Ronaldo, right? They focused. They did the work because if you ask me, the best player with the ball at his feet that I've ever witnessed was Ronaldinho. Just didn't care. He just wanted to party, be on the beach, man. But what that guy could do with the ball is no one could do what that guy could do with the ball at his feet. I'm sorry.
It was crazy. Yeah, he did crazy shit with the ball. Yeah.
But he didn't want to stay focused. He didn't want to do the work.
Yeah.
He won his trophies and he said, I'm gonna go
party. He chose the girls, so hey.
Yeah.
And that's what
let
makes
him
Messi
be.
and
Let him
Ronaldo
be.
That's what makes Messi, Messi and Ronaldo.
That's what makes them who they are.
Just, total focus on their craft. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Focus. And you know what? You know that focus on the career, right? And I remember this that my brother told me this, and he just turned 44. My brother, the youngest brother, and he could have been a star. I'm telling you, I'm not. He could have been a star, right? But my parents got divorced, and then he lost it when my dad left. He went into this depression, and he still has depression at the age of 44. But he was 14 when my parents got divorced, and he gets so angry. He gets so sad and angry at the same time. And then he ended up partying and stuff. And he said this to me because we got a friend that he was a striker for the Peruvian national team, Gustavo Basalo. He played for the national team. Milan bought him. What was that, 2000 or something? I don't know. He played for Milan. He played for he got a career, right? They were classmates. And my brother told me, you know what? There were 20 guys better than him.
Damn.
20 guys better than him.
Yeah.
Myself included.
Yeah.
He did the right thing. He chose the right path. He chose to be disciplined. Absolutely. He chose the hard way. And that's why he's where he is.
Yeah. Can't just be talented.
Nope.
Just be talented, dude. My brother, he can play ball, man. He can play ball.
Yeah.
Amazing player. But anyway, all right, guys. We go now with the predictions for this upcoming round 11. I know we're gonna leave the list for last, but first one: Chavez versus Vizela. Ooh, you think I think Chavez is gonna come up so angry, he's gonna pound Vizela. He's gonna beat him like 3-0 or something. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think with the new coach, they're playing some good ball. They're getting back on track, and I think they get the W here. They're so mad about last game. They watch the film and they just bring that fire into the next game.
Yeah. I think they're gonna win.
All win. Chavez, all for Chavez.
I'm all for
Chavez.
And that's where my dad's from, so I have to support Chavez.
Oh, really?
I went there last year. That's my second team, and then my mom's from the Azores, so I always have to have a Santa Clara jersey on deck too. So those are my two little teams that I support: Santa Clara and Chavez.
Oh man, Santa Clara, man. All right. Next game up, it is Farense versus Vitória Guimarães. Wow. In Faro.
It's in Faro. All right.
Gotta go with Guimarães. 2-0.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be like 2-1. I absolutely love that they went with Álvaro Pacheco. I think he's a great coach. I think they had buyer's remorse with Paul Turra. When they first got him, I kind of shook my head and I scratched my head. I'm like, okay, Paul Turra, But no, I think that they saw the opportunity when Echeverria let Álvaro Pacheco go. Like, I'm going to get that guy. I think they did well by getting Álvaro Pacheco. I think they're on the up, and I think they're gonna win.
I'm gonna win that one. I'll take Valencia on this one. Gotta tell you that.
Okay.
I'll take Valencia on that one. 2-1.
Alright.
2-1. Rio Ave versus Estrella de Amadora. Ooh,
That's tough.
that's a tough one, man.
I hate playing the Villa. I hate playing the Villa de Conde. That usually does that. That usually doesn't end well. Yeah.
I know.
I hate going there. That's just one of the places where it's like I don't like going to Barcelos. I hate going to Barcelos. I hate going to Barcelos, and I hate going to Vila de Conde, and I hate going to Estádio Bessa. But we pulled off the win there at the Bessa Stadium, with Boavista, because that's one of I think aside from Luz and Dragão, that's the only other stadium where Sporting has more losses than wins.
Now, you mentioned Dragão Luz. I was going to ask you this. So when I say, I can say just, is that wrong if I say at do Dragão? Well, I gotta say at Dragão. Is that right? How do I say that? Is that
right? Yeah, it could be like do Dragão. Do Dragão.
I can say that. Hey, at do Dragão.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You can also
do
say
Dragão.
Or just lose.
Yeah. Estádio da Luz.
Somebody said this to me. Hey, if you say Estádio da Luz is fine, but if you don't say just da Luz, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking you guys because I said this on air.
Da Luz. Yeah.
I mean,
people tell me, hey, Nino, that's wrong. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take it, man.
People are always gonna get upset. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
We know what you're referring to.
They like to nitpick.
Yeah. We know what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Well, these guys the other day, what was that? What game was it? I think it was the Benfica's game. Somebody put it in. I hate these guys. Like, what I do to you? Oh, come on.
Unbelievable. I gotta be hating.
Messenger, man.
Oh, shoot. That's always gonna be those people. What are you gonna do?
That guy's so annoying. It's like,
yeah.
Like, sorry, man.
No, I'm friends with a really big Benfiquista, and the call that you made for the Benfica Porto game, and then the red card.
Oh yeah. Oh my God!
And I mean, my Benfiquista wasn't too happy with you.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, that's a total red card.
It's not a red period. I put it right. Yeah. It was crazy. All right, guys. Next up, it is Famalicão, Porto.
Porto will win, but it's going to be it's going to be 1-0. It's going to be
It's going to be a 1-goal game. It's 2-1, 1-0. Yeah.
Let's go with the classic 2-1. 93rd minute, Marcano, a header.
I wish the guy could come back. He's still.
He's injured, right?
Yeah, he's ACL. He's done.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few injuries right now, to be honest.
All right, Pepe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
it could be like Eustáquio, 1-0, 1-0.
Yeah,
I see something like
that. It won't be a striker though. No striker.
No, it won't be
a striker. No. All right. What do we have next? Casa Pia, Portimonense. All right.
I think it's got a tie. It's got a tie written all over it.
Yeah.
So I mean, Portimonense is going to want to put this 6-1 behind them, so they're going to come out strong. And they might even score first, but then Casa Pia will tie it.
Yeah, Casa Pia is just a tough side to play against. They compete with everybody. They're very organized and they can compete. So I see the tie happening too.
Yeah,
1-1.
I want to say 2-1 on Casa Pia. No? All right, Braga Estoril. Okay, Braga. Yeah.
Estoril will not strike twice.
That's it. The Magic only lost one game for you, Estoril.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, you're going up to the north side of the country again, but okay.
Braga's
not going to put 5 goals.
At least 3. At least 3.
think it's going to be at least 3. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, Estrela, they got that Vasco Seabra. I mean, the only thing that guy's good at is losing. He's been a failure wherever he goes, and it's going to end like that.
He keeps getting jobs, right?
He just keeps. I know they're just guys that bounce from team to team, but at the end of the day, the result's always the same.
Yeah, I know. All right. Ooh, Moreirense. Moreirense has the second best record in the last month, and I'm telling you, I think they're gonna beat Benfica on this one. Benfica, what am I talking about? Not Benfica. What is it? They're playing. Oh no! Sorry, guys. I'm watching. I'm giving you the wrong picture. This is
no. Oh no!
I was about to say. I thought is it this weekend? Isn't it? Is Porto playing?
It's the weekend after, man. Sorry, wrong weekend.
Oh,
that's so funny.
I was in the wrong weekend. Oh man, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. All right. We're back at it again. Estoril is facing Casapilla. Then I'm sorry. Estoril facing Casapilla.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Vash Seabra losing. Casapilla can go in there and win 2-1.
All right. Then Jason, what do you think?
I think Casapilla wins this one 3-0.
Wow.
All right. Portimonense Chaves.
Chaves.
Away, in Portimao. I'll take Chaves on this one. Still.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the tie. I'm gonna go with the draw. I can see that 1-1.
I'm still gonna go with Chaves. I think on this one, I see him winning like 3-2. It'll be a tight game, but I think Chaves. They're just a different team under the new coach, and I think they'll continue that. They just had a hiccup this past week.
And what is next? Vizela in Vizela versus Family Cow. I'm gonna take a draw on that one.
I'm gonna go with the draw on that one as well.
Yeah. I'll go with Family Cow coming out on top 2-1.
Nice.
If it was that Family Cow, I'd definitely take Family Cow. I just think Vizela they'll nick a draw at home. I think
capable for sure.
Yeah.
And Buntage is great, man, under the pipes too. Estrela Amadora versus Moreirense.
Moreirense just had a big win. They just beat Guimarães.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tough game.
But they're not they're not as strong when they're playing away from
Moreira
Cónegos.
Yeah.
I
can see Estrela winning like 2-1.
I'll go with the 1-1. 1-1.
Yeah, with the 1-1.
All right. And now, all right, Vitória Guimarães, Porto. That's
I thought that was the game this weekend.
Yeah, well, like nobody called it before, man.
Yeah, but
just going on and on the games. And we're like, what the heck?
You said Porto.
Then I realized, hold on a second.
Yeah, because I was thinking
there it was this weekend.
It's gonna be like we talked about. When we thought Porto was playing, I forgot who they were playing. But I think it's gonna be the same thing, or it's gonna be 1-0. They'll score in the second half. I think they'll just get that 1-0 result. I mean, because Guimarães is definitely they're gonna put up a good fight because they've been playing better lately. So,
and Guimarães is home, right?
And Guimarães is home.
Yeah, I've been to that stadium, so I know. I sat in the away section. I know how those guys act.
Yeah,
I had to wait a whole hour to leave that stadium. The Cosmos, sure, a whole hour.
Oh man,
stuck in the little netted section. Yeah, I think Porto is going to win. I'm going to go with 2-0 here. I'm hoping for a goal from a striker. I'm hoping. Come on, Eva Nilsson, make me happy.
Yeah.
Come on, Eva. All right, Boa Vista versus Farense. Well, Boavista, are you for real, Boavista? What happened with Boavista? I mean, they went down really bad.
Yeah.
They just fall apart, but they just don't even know how to play it anymore. I mean, they're so strong. Remember what we talked about Boavista in the first rounds?
Yeah,
they were so so solid, but now they're the same team. And but I think they're gonna bounce back, and I think they're gonna win. They're gonna win this one.
Yeah,
I go Boavista at home.
yeah. And I mean, Boavista is a different team at home.
Yeah, they're tough at home.
Yeah. When they go away, they look like a shadow on themselves. But I think they're gonna win this one 2-0.
Hey, you know what? This is gonna be a fun game to watch. Gil Vicente Rio Ave. I think Gil Vicente is gonna put. I think there's gonna be a lot of goals in this game. I want to say like a 3-2 or something. Gil Vicente.
I think Gil Vicente will win. Yeah, and I got a feeling it's gonna be a lot of goals.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'm telling you.
I'll call it 4-3. 4-3.
4-3. Another 7 goal. Man,
the game to watch.
Third game of the season for Gil Vicente with that. All right, Arouca hosting Braga. Yeah, no surprise.
Braga,
right?
Yeah, Braga.
No surprise there at all.
Yeah,
my dear Nacho Alvaro Arena is gonna get 3-4 goals.
I think it's gonna be close.
Yeah, you think so?
I got a feeling it could be like
2-1 or something.
It could be like 2-1.
Yeah, because then
Braga's got to play tomorrow.
Right? They go fantastic, and then So, but
Roca has a small pitch too, so that'll be in their advantage at home. I've been to their pitch too, so I know they have a small pitch. It's a small arena. It'll work in their favor, but I still think Roca is going to lose, though. I think it'll be 2-1.
I think it's going to be 2-1.
Yeah, it'll be a tight game. But
that's my dream. I'm gonna make my trip to Europe. I'm only gonna be going to stadiums when I go there.
Yeah, watch games. Catch as many games as you can.
I'm gonna spend the whole month there and start at my field. Manchester. I'm gonna go to the Theater of Dreams. That's my first.
Nice.
The first thing I gotta go. Then I go Porto. Then
I watched when I went to Portugal. I watched 4 games in 3 days. I watched the first game was it was Santa Clara Roca,
and
then I watched Guimarães versus.
Oh, you went to the island on that one?
Which one? No. Aroca is in the mainland.
But Santa Clara.
Aroca, Santa Clara.
Yeah, Santa Clara was away. Sorry.
Okay.
I watched Santa Clara this past year. I watched them at home, D2, but I went on the island. What was it? September. I was there. They played against. Crap. I already forgot. But I watched them. It was 1-1 tie.
Okay.
I watched them this year, but and then I watched Porto Portimonense 7-0. I watched the Clásico Benfica Sporting.
I remember that game.
Yeah, I watched the Clásico with Benfica Sporting. Darwin Nunez had a day. It was at Sporting Stadium. And then
that 2-0 game?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was miserable. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that one live.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got to watch
miserable game.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Last but not least, the derby.
Go first, Derek.
1-1.
1-1?
1-1.
Yeah.
I have faith in Sporting.
It said they lose, right?
Sporting wins 3-1. I have faith in them.
I'm going to say 2-1 Sporting.
You think so? Oh, my God. I'd be so happy.
I have faith in Sporting.
Yeah.
I do. Me too.
Jason
and I are praising your team, man. And you don't. Come on.
Listen.
Man.
3 championships in 34 years.
There's only one thing I like as much as Porto winning, and that's Benfica losing.
Yeah, exactly. No,
guess what?
I don't mind if Sporting champion.
I want to say something to Derek here. Guess what? The curse is over. They already won.
Yeah.
2020. So now it's off. Shook it off. And now we believe that we can win. And they will win.
Yep.
And I'm saying this is November 7th, 2023. Nino is predicting the Sporting will win, even though my dear friend Derek is afraid that I'm going to jinx it. I'm not jinxing you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Awesome.
for these Tuga Tuesdays. Now we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.